Hello and welcome to Knots Today with me, Emma Caldwell. Happy Emma Day as well. Yeah, that's right, it's a thing and it's today, apparently. It's nearly the weekend too, of course, but before we get there, here's what's on the show today. First, we'll be hearing how the unveiling of some stone artwork by Knots Sculpture is the launchpad for a new Newark art trail.
The engineering and the fact that the brickwork matches the building, it looks as though it was part of the architectural plan, but they just look lovely and they've been languishing under a tarpaulin for far too long.
We'll have more on that on the show shortly, plus we'll be hearing how a new University of Nottingham study is exploring whether cancers is rare in turtles. The research provides the strongest evidence to date that the illness is extremely rare for the reptiles, with only 1% of turtles affected by cancer. We're also going to be hearing how a dog named by his previous owners after a fictional criminal is now thriving on the right side of the law as a police canine.
Tuco got his name from, I believe, the TV programme Breaking Bad. It's perhaps a little bit inappropriate for the police, but he knows his name, so unfortunately I couldn't change that.
And of course, it's just hours to go until the gates open to this year's Splendour Festival. So we are going to be looking back at another great interview from past festivals.
And then you'll go on stage for this burst of very intense adrenaline with however many thousands of people looking back at you and directing all their adrenaline towards you, and then off you go again. And it's it's this kind of weird...
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Plus, of course, in sports, we're going to be hearing from Notts Outlaws head coach Peter Moores after a disappointing defeat last night against the Worcester Rapids.
We've been inconsistent as a bowling group all year, really, on and off. We've just started bowling better the last few games, and that's why we've won some games, we've batted well, and we played better as a group. We didn't get it right tonight. We got some bits right.
All that and loads more coming up just for you this Friday afternoon. But first, we are talking all things turtles now, because a new study by experts at the University of Nottingham has found evidence that our hard-shelled friends are resistant in more ways than one. Research at Chester Zoo has found that cancer in turtles is extremely rare, which scientists say may provide valuable insights into how humans could fight back against the disease. And I'm very pleased to say, joining me now to tell us more is Dr. Yelani Chiari. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, this is a weird one because when I came into the studio for work today and I thought we were talking about cancer in turtles, I thought, well, this is a bizarre thing to be talking about. But actually, it's so impressive. Tell us how this research came about.
So it's been a long time in the making. We were working on Galapagos tortoises for a long time. And so Galapagos tortoises are notoriously big and live long. And so one of the things that we always say is, as a scientist working on Galapagos tortoises, is how hard it is to study this animal because they live longer than us. And so theory predicts that if an animal or an organism live very long and is very large in size, they have a higher chance of developing cancer because they have more cell or more cellular turnover. And based on our work on Galapagos tortoises, I've never seen a growth in an animal. So we started collaborating with zoos to see if there were instances in which they found tumors in turtles. And then not just in turtles, but as a comparison, we collect data from birds and mammals and other reptiles. And so it became very evident that across the whole turtle, so terrestrial, freshwater, marine, cancer is extremely rare.
And why is this? Why are turtles so resistant to cancer?
So there were indications already in the past to say, well, maybe that it doesn't happen very often because they have a slow metabolism. And so what our work is indicating, and we are still working, we just started to do more genomic work and cellular work, it seems that the slow metabolism can be one reason. So they have a slow metabolism, they have less chances for developing toxic components, basically, toxic byproducts. But it could be that they also resist better to DNA damage, so their DNA is more stable, and that they also, when a cell has a problem, they kill it immediately instead of let it go around or try to repair it.
So interesting. And of course, the question begs, that this could then offer clues to preventing cancer in humans as well?
I would say it's a long way. I mean, ideally, you know, we study animals to understand what can we learn, what do they do better than us, and what can we learn from them. And so yes, ideally, if we work with, we are evolutionary biologists, so we're not cancer biologists. The idea is to keep working on this, discover how they do it, and then work with, you know, cancer biologists, medical scientists to see if we can find a way we can use this knowledge. Yes.
I mean, it's so impressive. We mentioned Chester Zoo earlier, but this work that you are doing is only possible due to like a world network of zoos, isn't it?
Yes, so the zoos are really crucial in this because they keep an amazing record. So our data dates way back. We went to paper records, and so the animal, when they die, they get an autopsy, which is called necropsy, and there is a clear report, and the zoo has very clear report. Sometimes when it's not clear why they die, they send the tissue for like further investigation. So you can do this work because of the work they do it, and how well they record it. So yes.
So what happens now?
Yeah, so now we apply for funding and we keep working. So we do some genomic analysis to see if there are, for example, genes that hold some secrets in why they can live so long and so healthy. We also look at cellular mechanisms, how they deal with stress and all these kind of things.
I think it's so interesting. If people want to find out more about your research, where can they go?
I have a webpage, and I am on the University of Nottingham website if they type my name. So yes, they can send me an email. Yeah, always happy to chat about this.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Dr.
you very
Elenia
much.
Chiari, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
So interesting. Right, moving on now, and it is time to head to Newark and the unveiling of some sculptures, created by local artist Robert Kiddy. He's the man who also designed the iconic miners outside County Hall in West Bridgford, and the artwork, known as the Kiddy Stones, has been in storage for decades, but now they are forming part of a new art trail in the town, which starts at Newark and Sherwood District Council's Castle House headquarters. The stones were unveiled during a ceremony yesterday, and Lucy Marshall was there.
After 40 years spent under tarpaulin, Newark and Sherwood District Council revealed their new art installation yesterday. The Kiddy Stones were designed by sculptor Robert Kiddy in 1957, depicting electricity production throughout history. Originally installed at Wilford Power Station, the stones now have a new home at Newark-on-Trent's Castle House. Born in Nottingham, Kiddy taught at a technical college in the town. Much of his work is now on display across Nottinghamshire. Robert's relative, Linda Kiddy, expressed the importance of his work at the unveiling yesterday.
Well, first of all, he was very much an adopted son of Newark. The way that they've actually put this together is wonderful. The engineering and the fact that the brickwork matches the building. It looks as though it was part of the architectural plan, but they just look lovely, and they've been languishing under a tarpaulin for far too long. And I think Rowan Cousins, who has the portfolio for culture, has done a wonderful job to actually see this project through to its fruition.
The new £87,000 installation was met with some kickback though. A public consultation that took place last year found that 57% of the 881 responses rejected the idea of the move to Castle House, with some participants branding it as a vanity project and a waste of public money. Following the consultation, a majority of councillors agreed to move them to Castle House at a cabinet meeting in December. Deputy Leader of Newark and Sherwood District Council, Rowan Cousins, maintained that the move is a good decision for Newark.
It was asking people their feelings about where we were putting them. There's a very good reason for siting them here. We own this land, so we had no planning issues. We didn't have to buy a position. We took on board everything that people said. It took 40 years to get these out into the public realm. There was a discussion about having them at the railway station, on the Woolworths building, at the Magnus School, on the police station, in the castle grounds. This is a long project. They can't go in the castle grounds because that's a scheduled historic monument. This is a perfect location for panels that are meant to be on a civic building.
Although there's mixed opinions on the artwork's move, the stones now serve as a permanent reminder of Newark's heritage and the future to come at Castle House. Lucy Marshall for Notts TV.
Thank you, Lucy. Right, in other Notts news, and police are upping patrols around the canals near Nottingham after an assault. A homeless man in his 40s was hospitalised after an attack at about 9 o'clock on Thursday morning, which happened near the London Road Bridge in the city centre. A cordon was in place throughout Thursday afternoon whilst Nottinghamshire police investigated the circumstances behind the incident. The force said it came after 2 sexual assaults in the same area in recent weeks, and that anybody with any information should call them on 101. Next, and a dangerous man who sexually assaulted a young boy and exchanged explicit chats with children across the world has been jailed. 22-year-old Reese Green sexually assaulted the boy at least 3 times before taking photographs of him, and also sent tens of thousands of sexualised messages to 10 young teenagers aged between 13 to 16 in countries including America, Argentina, Canada, Northern Ireland and Wales. Green of Newcastle Avenue in Worksop appeared in Nottingham Crown Court on Tuesday and was handed a 10-year sentence. All right, it's time for a short break now. Don't go anywhere though, because when we get back, we're going to be looking ahead to the return of Splendour Festival this weekend. Plus, we've got your sports roundup too. And we'll also be hearing how a police dog named after a criminal is thriving, this time, of course, on the right side of the law. All that and more Notts news and goodness on the way for you in just a sec. Hello, welcome back to Friday's show with me, Emma Caldwell. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're having a good day so far. Here's what's happening in Notts today. First, and new footage has shown the moment more buildings at a former coal-fired power station were demolished. Oh, I love seeing videos like that. Very satisfying, isn't it? Specialists use strategically placed explosives to collapse the turbine hall and the DA bay in the West Burton A site in Nottinghamshire on Thursday morning. The power station closed in March 2023, and some buildings have already been demolished, with the site due to be cleared by 2028. In January, a shortlist of 5 bids to build a fusion power plant at West Burton was announced by the government. Next, and fishing on the River Trent has been suspended by numerous clubs because of critical conditions endangering the health of fish. Nottingham Anglers Association said itself and other clubs separately took the decision because of low oxygen levels caused by the recent hot weather. Guidance from the Angling Trust, am I saying that right? Angling. Felt wrong in my mind. Angling Trust and the Environment Agency states that low oxygen levels make it harder for the fish to recover from being caught and leaves them more susceptible to disease and infections, with decisions to suspend fishing up to angling clubs. Moving on now, and a dog named by his previous owners after a fictional criminal is now firmly on the right side of the law after completing his police training. Police dog Tuco, an 18-month-old Dutch herder, was recruited by Nottinghamshire Police after his previous owners decided they could no longer meet his needs. And after excelling in early assessments, Tuco, named after the fictional character from the TV show Breaking Bad, was selected for training with experienced handler PC Sam Hawker. And in a new video, the force has shown how he's thriving.
So I'm PC Sam Hawker, and this is PD Tuco. Tuco came from a pet home where they tried to do a bit of training with him, but due to their work commitments, they couldn't look after him. So they decided he needed to be somewhere where he could work and train every day. So that's how we ended up with him. Tuco got his name from, I believe, the TV program Breaking Bad. It's perhaps a little bit inappropriate for the police, but he knows his name, so unfortunately I couldn't change that. Tuco's shown great promise. He really enjoys what we'd call the criminal work, chasing, detaining people, but he's also shown great development in his scent work, his finding of people, tracking and locating articles. These dogs absolutely need to be working. They're working dogs by nature. They're really high drive, and as I said to his previous owner, who was quite upset at letting him go, I said this dog is going to get to do exactly what he wants to be doing on a daily basis. He's going to be training every day, working every day. He's going to absolutely be doing what he was sort of born to do.
All right, time for your sport now, and we're starting with the crickets after the Outlaws fell to defeat against Worcestershire in their penultimate game of the Vitality Blast. Their hopes of getting to the knockout stages faded after losing the match by 45 runs, having been bowled out for 161 in their innings. Speaking after the match, head coach Peter Moores lamented on an inconsistent performance with the ball and called on the Outlaws to channel their frustrations into tonight's final group stage fixture against Lancashire.
We've been inconsistent as a bowling group all year, really, on and off. We've just started bowling better the last few games, and that's why we've won some games, we've batted well, and we played better as a group. We didn't get it right tonight. We got some bits right, so some of the batting, some of the bowling was very good, but not collective enough. So I think they bowled better than we did, certainly up front. Yeah, we were a little bit short on our lengths up front, which I think they managed to get through. It's quite a tough pitch, hybrid pitch, quite hard work to bat on. And then we didn't manage to close the game out towards the end. So I think 209 was above par. We made a good stab at getting it, but lost wickets all the way through. So that really hurt us at the end. They know they can play better, and we've just got to get that consistency. And I think moving forward, if we're going to become really competitive as a group.
Into ice hockey now, and there's another new face at the Nottingham Panthers after 26-year-old Canadian defenceman David Noel signed up for a new season. Noel is a highly rated blue liner who was born in Quebec and has been playing high-level hockey since just after his 18th birthday when he represented Canada in the Under-18s World Championships. He said he's been talking closely with coaches Omar Pasha and Danny Stewart and says he's excited to play for this year's reigning playoff champions.
The fan base. I just heard all the great things about Nottingham. Omar is from Quebec City, so he's from Quebec. So it was fun to like have a GM that he's speaking French. That's my first language, so that was pretty cool for me. Being in the pro hockey and having someone that speak French, and I've been talking with the coach too, so. It was pretty good. He seems like a really good coach. I love the way he was talking to me, explaining the type of hockey they're playing. So, yeah, that was great.
All right, moving on now, and in case you've been living under a rock, well, you will know that tomorrow sees the return of Nottingham's biggest summer party, of course, the Splendour Festival. Tens of thousands of music fans are going to be descending on Woollerton Hall on Saturday and Sunday to enjoy acts like Block Party, Jake Bugg, Travis and the Kaiser Chiefs, and we'll be there too, of course, interviewing some of the biggest names on the bill. And to celebrate this, here's a look back at our interview with Justin Young from the Vaccines, who performed at the festival back in 2023.
Quite ritualistic. We try and normally we'll try and go and venture out and explore somewhere and see somewhere, particularly if we've never been there before. And like if we're at a festival, we'll go and walk around and try and see some artists. And then we do have our kind of like set routine. The longer we've been a band, the kind of more set it becomes. But like generally for like an hour or so before playing, we kind of turn on some music we all agree on and play along and sing along and just try and I guess become one.
I was going to say, do you all do your individual things and then come together?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Is it like in Help, you know, where the Beatles all go in their separate doors, but actually they're all just...
That's so weird. We literally just referenced that today. I think that's called the Baader-Meinhof complex, where you don't hear a reference ever and then you hear it twice in one.
That's funny, because I've heard of that complex twice now.
Are you joking?
I'm joking, yeah. That's
Hey, that's why they pay you the big bucks. Yeah, someone literally just referenced that Beatles thing. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like
that reference for though.
Oh, it was the showers actually. Yeah. Yeah.
So you do. So you're all kind of you're all
it's
together
just
as a
strange.
group.
We were talking about it yesterday. We played Truck Festival in Oxfordshire yesterday, and it's like it is like a weird existence that you kind of will spend these kind of 12 very like slow, mundane, monotonous hours. And then you'll like go on stage for this burst of like very intense adrenaline with however many thousands of people looking back at you and directing all their adrenaline towards you, and then off you go again. And it's like it's this kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing as well. What do you do when it finished? Because you can't just go home and
Well, that's
go straight to bed.
That's it. I mean, I guess that's the age-old question, the existential crisis that many an artist faces. And
I was hoping you'd have the answer.
Yeah, not yet.
No. Okay.
No.
How's your summer been in terms of gigging and stuff?
It's been pretty fun. It's been quite slow. Like we've just been finishing a new record, so we haven't really been playing too many shows. We're only doing like a dozen or so this summer.
Are you trying the new stuff out?
We're playing one new song live which is quite fun. But you don't want to be too, don't want it to be too kind of punishing to the festival crowds with half an hour of new music. So yeah, one is enough, I think.
Well, do you still get nervous? Obviously, you're kind of,
I get nervous in London when our friends are there and family are there.
Right.
And when we haven't played for a while, but more excited really than
Okay.
nervous.
And when you're playing that new song, is it a case of, oh, I hope they like it, or do you just...
A little bit, but I think also it doesn't, I mean, if it's your crowd, they're going to pretend to like it. And if it's festival crowd, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't think you can ever really tell. It's funny, there are some of our songs that have, maybe go down better live, don't necessarily get streamed as much or whatever, and then vice versa. So I never really know how kind of deeply ingrained a song is going to make its way into people's hearts and minds. I'm not sure.
It's a very cliche question, but I'm going to ask it. What's your favourite song to perform live?
Honestly, If You Wanna, because it's like the biggest song of the night.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Right, elsewhere on the channel, and we recently aired the final episode of the Knox TV Book Club, closing the final chapter on 4 great series of literature, poetry and conversation. Host Becky Cullen was, as always, joined by a great panel of bookworms to talk about their favourite work. And on the final episode, they spoke about what reading, arts and expression means to them. You can catch up with the full show on demand right now via our website and YouTube channel, but right here's some of the show for you now.
And Jayden's recommendations, I'm sure you will agree, have been absolutely fabulous. What a fantastic range of recommendations you've given us, and so desperately bad for my bank balance.
And mine.
Thank you for that as well. My husband particularly thanks you for that. Hannah, how about you?
Oh, I would echo everybody else. Like, I think the people make the book club. It's been such a brilliant experience to talk to a range of people from across Nottingham about what they love about books, to read books that I wouldn't have read otherwise, revisit some classics, all bangers, I would say.
Yeah.
And also, I think what I want to say is to thank Becky for being such a brilliant host and champion of reading and writing as part of the City of Literature. And actually, the other week we got our evaluation back from UNESCO, and the book club was part of that. And it said that all of our work that we've been doing as the City of Literature is excellent. So what it means to me is that the book club has helped spread the word about the City of Literature and what it means for Nottingham.
All right, it's time for your Friday picture of the day now, and this is absolutely lovely. Look at that, one of the stags at our very own Wollerton Deer Park. Thank you so much to Steve Plewinski for this one. As for your weather, it's a bit of a mixed bag this weekend. Tonight will be dry, dropping down to 18 degrees. Tomorrow, we've got yellow warnings for thunderstorms across the East Midlands, with showers expected throughout the afternoon. Highs of 23 and lows of 16. Looking ahead to Sunday, and we have more showers and sunny intervals, with highs of 23 and lows of 14. And that's the end of the show. Thank you, as always, to our great guests today. And of course, we do need to say a very big thank you to the wonderful director who is in my ear at the moment. It's his final show. Andrew, we think you are wonderful, and we cannot wait to hear what you're going to do next. Whatever you're doing over the weekend, maybe that Splendour Festival, we'll see you there. Look out for that big Knots TV bus. It's going to be right to the left of the main stage. Give us a wave if you're there. But for now, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.